My name is Al Quiroz. My mother worked at a restaurant on 111th Street, west of Cottage Grove. They went out of business, and there was a newspaper stand underneath the viaduct on 111th Street. His name was Jim. I don't know what his last name was. So he was really friends with my mother. So he asked her, "Would you like to work at the Hotel Florence as a housemaid, as a house cleaner?" My mother was all yes. She was all enthused about that. So she started to work there maybe in the early part of 50s. And she worked there for many years, and she got real friendly with the owner, Mrs. Fisher, the owner's wife, Mrs. Fisher. Now, my mother told me stories about the hotel. And one time she says that Mrs. Fisher told her that she rented a room, the Pullman Suite, to this young couple, and they stayed overnight, 2 or 3 nights. And they know how famous the bed was in the Pullman Suite. Inside the Pullman Suite, there was this bed. Pullman slept in that bed, the frame and everything. The bed was like a king size bed. It had huge 6-inch diameter pillars on each 4 corners of the bed. It was carved wood, and it was real beautiful, about 7 feet high. And these people that rented the suite decided to steal the bed. And they decided to take the bed frame and go through the French doors onto the veranda roof on the north end of the hotel. Walk across the front of the hotel to the south end of the building on the roof, and there was a fire escapes on the south end of the hotel, and they were going to take it out through that way. But the security caught them, and they had to return the bed back, and I guess they called the police, and I don't know if they arrested them or they just barred them from the hotel. At some point in time, Mrs. Fisher took the bed frame and brought it to her mansion on the north side in Evanston, in that area. And the owners of the hotel that were going to purchase the hotel told Mrs. Fisher, "I am not going to buy this hotel until you bring back that bed frame." She brought back the bed. She was able to sell the hotel to the next owner. I also have another story about the roof of the veranda. In the early 1950s, before it became historic, they used to have political parties there. At this point, the neighborhood started to deteriorate. People didn't understand the value of the historic area like they do now. And they would, like I say, they would have parties there, and there was a lot of drinking and things like that. It wasn't a house of prostitutes or anything like that. It was just like when they had parties, they had special events, and that was it. They had gambling in the basement. They had parties going, and local political people in Roseland and in Pullman, they would have special parties there. On the south end of the hotel, there was collapsible fire escapes. And we used to pull the fire escapes down, and we used to climb up on the roof, the veranda roof. And we used to walk around the west end of the hotel and the north end of the hotel. And we used to look in the windows of the hotel, and we used to look in the windows, and we used to see these politicians drinking and having a good time and getting drunk and things like that, having affairs with escorts. But downstairs at the bar, when I was a kid, I used to shoe shine at the bar. And they used to give me pop and potato chips and everything like that. And my hands were all loaded with shoe polish, shining their shoes and everything like that. But that was at the time when kids were allowed to go in the taverns and things like that. But when I was a kid, I used to see a lot of party going on and things like that. There was a lot of smoke. Everybody was smoking cigars and everything like that. And balloons flying all over. Now, when most people see the veranda, they see it's a very beautiful porch. But when I see the veranda, I think of these 2 stories, all the activity when I was a young kid, to see all that.